And Wrexham unbeaten in the last 8 here at the racecourse. They have not failed to score in any match here this season. Indeed, you have to go back to St David's Day for the last time they didn't, against Bolton Wanderers in League One last season. So it's a tough task, no question about that for Sheffield United, despite their improved run of form. And here is an early feel of the ball for George Thomason, who has been working hard all week on readying himself for this left wing-back role, a position he's not played in before in competitive action.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how far forward up the pitch he actually gets. So when Wrexham have the ball, might he play a bit more as a left-back than a left wing-back? We'll see.
First tussle involving Kiefer Moore. Tyler Bindon dealt with it. On the other side, Ryan Longman. And he has switched to left wing-back at times this season, but the balance of 2 left-footers on that left side, the key. Delivery which is straightforward enough for Cooper. Needed a couple of bites, though.
A positive start from Wrexham, inching that first ball into Kiefer Moore. Doesn't actually win it, but how close Windass and Broadhead got to him. So they're not going to play out wide, Windass and Broadhead. They're going to kind of close in, try and play as a front three, gets close to Kiefer Moore, get those knockdowns when the longer ball is played to him.
Dominic Hyam successful in his first duel with Bamford. Key battles.
Just looking at the coaching selections here, you've got positive Parkinson, they're looking to force the win. Lots of draws for Wrexham, struggling to win, so those front three are playing together for the first time. And why change it Wilder? Because again, things going so well, just keep the same team and look to pick up another positive result.
Armour in buccaneering style here. Getting into threatening territory, and the situation retrieved by Ollie Arblaster. Fabulous to see him back in action. Managed to rack up 70 minutes or so against Birmingham. He's getting there. Now McCallum. That's a searching ball, and it was a very difficult opportunity for O'Hare, but he did his utmost.
Sam McCallum again. Gus Harmer will drift infield, so the left back McCallum will get forward. He'll look to get into wide positions. Good cross for the ball. There's so much pace on this ball, it's difficult to control. He gets past the near post as well. You can see what he's trying to do, just help that ball on, because the pace is on the ball. Just try and redirect it. He's not that far away. Positive start from the Blades down the left-hand side.
Sheaf being hassled, and O'Hare's in particular leading of the Sheffield United press has been, well, one massive part in their revival. Here is Broadhead. Thomason certainly keen to venture forward. It's certainly a useful bit of work from Callum Doyle. Facing an old club.
It's interesting to see how high up the pitch. Centre half, remember. Stepping into midfield, stepping forward. Looks as if he's going for the shot here. I think he might have been better, sir, just trying to clip that ball into Kiefer Moore.
It's very adventurous from Callum Doyle, who can count Coventry, Leicester, Norwich, Sunderland as his loan clubs from Manchester City now found a permanent home here at Wrexham. Broadhead bustling. James. Broadhead picking up a useful position, but surrounded by white shirts. The recent run as a little bit of a wobble. Drive without a victory is their worst since they regain their Football League status. But home, certainly where the lion's share of the points have come. And a lot of his critics have singled out perhaps the lack of positivity at times, that he keeps the handbrake on sometimes, but this selection today would certainly suggest not.
Yeah, I just wonder with Jay Rodriguez back on the bench as well, you've got Sam Smith, who does have attacking options off the bench, so maybe at times when they weren't available to him, or Rodriguez wasn't, he wouldn't go with a front three in case one got injured. You maybe need to keep one in reserve.
Well, as well as his talents returning from injury, he's a fantastic professional. A great example for everybody. Great lad to have around.
I'm surprised to see Conor Cody dominating that conversation.
He is potentially facing an old club today, unlike Callum Doyle. This is Chong, our blaster. Sariki, who likes a good maraud. Oh, that's a beautiful goal by Bamford! Fabulous piece of improvisation from a player who is making an unlikely double act work fantastically. And the run of goals continues, but few have been as stylish as that.
And you have to give Femi Sariki a lot of credit here, right back, stepping forward, forcing Broadhead to do some defending. They don't close the cross down, but it's a decent ball in, but you wouldn't expect a striker to score from this position. But when you're in form, you just get across your man and use the pace that's on the ball and redirect it. It's still incredibly difficult. Outside of the boot, beyond the near post, to lob that over Okonkwo and in is outstanding from Patrick Bamford.
Well, throw the old cliche Christmas cracker at it, it certainly was, and an example of where he is in terms of confidence. Recall, he hasn't been out of the scene completely before arriving at Sheffield United. He was training with Coventry.
Yeah, if you're not in goal-scoring form, I think the first thing you do there is take a touch and take the ball down, secure it, then think about maybe shooting. But when the goals are flowing, you get across your man and you're not even taking a chance, you're backing yourself, you believe that you can redirect that, but it's a stunning finish.
The last time you and I were here together, Wrexham went a goal down to Coventry and won the game, and they're attacking it with zest. Really pacey cross, it's in! It seemed as though it came off Bindon. Windass pulling it back, and the defender left helpless, but Thomason, the stand-in wing-back, playing a huge part in it as Wrexham hit back instantly. Incredible resilience, character. We've seen it all season long from Wrexham. Didn't feel sorry for themselves. A question at kick-off whether Thomason would get forward down the left-hand side. He does here brilliantly. It's a dangerous ball, but Josh Windass, this is outstanding. Beyond the far post, he knows he can't score himself, he's just got to help it back into the danger zone. Moore could get to it, a defender could turn it in, but if he doesn't lay that ball back, nothing can happen. You see, he just relaxes at the far post. He knows it's not about scoring, it's about keeping it alive. Wonderfully cushioned volley there, and you've got a centre-half moving back towards his own goal, and that's disaster waiting to happen. But what a response from the home team. Well, less than a minute after the game restarted, 50 seconds to be precise. And George Thomason, the raiding wing-back, putting the initial ball in. Windass, by the way, had a fitness test around 3 o'clock here, suffering from a painful dead leg. It was certainly sufficiently alive there.
I just think his attacking appreciation there of what was needed. He knew he could score. Lots of players would try and score from a tight angle and just knock it behind the goal, but he just keeps it alive, hoping that the ball might be turned in. He makes the right decision. can't say I'm really surprised that we've had goals, because both sides started really positively. Good to get on the ball, get forward, create chances, and they both score.
O'Hare, not certain Cleworth knew exactly where he was. Now Broadhead's been fed. Windass and Moore in the vicinity. Well, trying to feed Windass, but Tanganga in the way.
It was a wonderful forward pass from Callum Doyle that picked out Broadhead. He just needed to play the pass to Windass, who'd made a brilliant run on the outside. Just needed to play it slightly earlier. He had it done, Windass was in on goal.
Well, I think what we've seen in those last two Wrexham attacks is Phil Parkinson's idea coming to fruition. He wanted the balance of the left footer on the left side of the back three and the left footer at left wing back, and in two instances it's really worked well for him.
And it's also playing through that Sheffield United press. They're playing high up the pitch, Sheffield United. Once they get bypassed, certainly in midfield, they've got big problems defensively.
Well, for the historians amongst you, and I realise immediately that's 99% turning off, but the last league meeting here at the racecourse 42 years ago, Wrexham went behind early, won 4-1, 1983. Misplaced in the end by Thomason, who was well out of his left wing-back area. O'Hare. Bright and brimming with confidence. Can't feed Chong in. Work by Cleworth. Breaking ball to get Thomason involved again. Beautiful from Windass to find him. This is Broadhead. James might have a go. Tanganga was there. Harmer.
Well, I know from bitter experience how hard a position the wing back is to play, the amount of ground you've got to cover, and then the quality you've got to show when you've covered a lot of ground, and George Thomason is making it look easy.
They do have Libby Kakache on the bench today, which is very welcome. Oh, Doyle with a lovely ball through for Moore. Sariki couldn't win the battle. Bindon makes the challenge. Sariki certainly didn't get the challenge right, but Moore able to go on. This is Broadhead. Doyle. Broke off Bamford. Moore. Now Cleworth. Away by Bindon.
I'd say Colin Doyle's distribution from the back so far has been outstanding. He's just taking that Sheffield United midfield out of the game with one incisive forward pass. George Thomason hasn't played this position, left wing back before, but Wrexham making good use of his athletic talents and his quality delivery.
He's had a full week of preparation, with the exception of yesterday, no training, unlike their Sheffield United counterparts. More up well. Here's McCallum. O'Hare. Into Harmer. And it's a combination that could certainly do some damage here.
See the experience of Ben Sheaf getting back into a good defensive position. Longman was out of the game. Cleworth was out of the game as well, but the experienced midfielder just drops back in and blocks Harmer off.
Yeah, I have a fair idea what's in Gus Harmer's mind. The Coventry connection. Here's Sariki. Bamford! Well, every chance he gets, he takes! And what an astonishing start to the game here at the racecourse.
He's in a brilliant goal-scoring position, but again, the supply line. Femi Sariki, this is a quite brilliant delivery into the box. The ball goes out wide, he's not really closed down, they don't get close enough to him, and he just whips that ball into that corridor in between defensive line and goalkeeper. You've got ball-watching centre-halves, Patrick Bamford's got in between them, and he's stayed on side. The timing in the run is outstanding, and the control, the composure in the finish, not easy when you've got a bouncing ball, but Siriki's delivery is outstanding, and that's trust and understanding between an attacking fullback and a centre forward. Bamford knew Siriki would try and pick him out, and he does so brilliantly.
Well, maybe feeding him. And Bamford banging them away. Thomason getting involved again. Wrexham looking for a similar recipe. Chong trying to marshal Thomason this time, which was not the case previously. Callum Doyle. Broadhead. James. Matty James coming under pressure from O'Hare. Had to go back the way. Sheaf. Siriki plugging the gap. And then gifting it back to Ben Sheaf. Moore. Might be on the end of it. McCallum deals with it partially. Ryan Longman arriving.
It's not ideally where Phil Parkinson will want Kiefer Moore, but the ball in was an absolute beauty, but good defensive positioning. Sam McCallum round on the cover.
Extraordinary start to the game, but happier with where they are, and certainly there can be no doubt so far about the intensity of their performance.
Just take a look at Patrick Bamford's contribution so far. 6 touches outside the penalty area, 2 in the penalty area, 2 goals. For both goals, his movement, his touch, outstanding.
Hair showing for it. Now Harmer is. And he's gifted it to Moore. Direction of travel in favour of Sheffield United. Wasn't happy with that decision. Thomason.
Maybe slightly biased, but it's wonderful to see full-backs and wing-backs having a huge effect on a game.
Slightly biased. Blaster, found well by Siriki, who's got this unpredictable element to him. He's scored in memorable style this season. A goal against Stoke, and the assists racking up tonight. Made one previously against Stoke. That's Bamford. Well, hat-trick hunting.
He is human. Considering the goal-scoring form he's shown in this game, I'm surprised he's not smashed that into the top corner. Again, look at his positioning. You've got defenders watching the ball. He gets away from them, he's into space, and his 2 goals are just outstanding. This one, he has no right to finish this in the way that he does. It's outstanding. The second one isn't too shabby either.
Well, Broadhead is chopped down in the sort of last safe position to do so, or relatively safe position.
Yeah, it's that longer forward ball up to Kiefer Moore there, he just lays it down. As I said at the kick-off, really, those 2 players, Windass and Broadhead, are going to try and get close, get tight to Kiefer Moore, to get those knockdowns and get into positions like this, draw fouls like this. Binder just completely misjudges it. this is a dream of a free kick position though, just slightly to one side, not that far away. You clear the wall, keep it on target, and a very good chance of scoring.
Broadhead's ritual. Cooper getting his wall lined up to the millimetre. It's going to be Broadhead. And execution not quite what was desired.
It's completely the wrong choice. In that position, you just got to whip it, you've got to feel it. Pace and accuracy, he just goes for pure power, he just blasts this. You know, he's way, way off target from such a brilliant free kick position. That is a completely the wrong choice of technique.
James. Moore. Taken in well by Broadhead. Here's Thomason. Doyle. Into Broadhead. Gives O'Hare the slip. Thomason too. Getting involved. He can't find a way past Sariki. Doyle. Neatly done by Sheaf. Prod by James. Moore. Broadhead. Thomason on the move. Now they'll look for him. Riedewald steps in.
Thomason is in acres of space. Broadhead just has to play that ball out in front of him. They go infield, it gets congested, chance is gone.
Delivery of a fair amount of threat from Thomason. Bindon deals with it, but one of Wrexham's strong suit. Set pieces.
Whether it's Chong or Sariki, you've got to get closer to Thomason. You can't allow him to shape up and deliver with that left foot of his.
It's going to be an outswinger. All sorts of fun and games. And off the line by a very well-placed Ali Arblaster. Comes Okonkwo.
In a word, panic.
Is that a suggestion or referring to the situation?
I think after what happened at Swansea, it's understandable he was maybe slightly nervous in this game.
Yeah, big night for him in that respect, but he's been such a wonderful servant to Wrexham. Phil Parkinson regarding him as one of the best signings in his time. Tanganga having a right old battle with Hyam here. It's flicked on by Moore. O'Hare! Well, the former Sheffield United striker presented it to him, and Callum O'Hare wasn't about to pass up the chance. Tight grip on the game now.
It's all about his attacking anticipation. How many attackers would wait for the header to be made and then try and make a move and get there late? If you watch Callum O'Hare here, he's already on the move. As that ball is thrown in, he sees moving, sprinting into an attacking position. He's got away from his man. That's why he gets to the ball first. There's a bit of good fortune, maybe it comes off there to keep him more. But if Callum O'Hare doesn't make his run, the goalkeeper collects this, the defender clears it. But Callum O'Hare has ran away from Matty James. It's a positive attacking run, hoping the ball might break his way. Then he's brave as well because he gets sandwiched, but he gets his rewards for his run.
Well, O'Hare is a man who so often is making things happen in bravely there. I'm sure the Sheffield United followers will reflect on the slight irony there. Kiefer Moore, in his last appearance in a Sheffield United shirt, played that fateful pass that allowed Tommy Watson to score the winner at Wembley in the playoff final for Sunderland. And there, he provides an unwitting assist for his old club. Good work by Bamford. Harmer, O'Hare. Well, you can see the understanding, you can see the confidence.
That O'Hare goal again. How many attacking midfielders even make that run? And even the ones that do, 99 times out of 100, the ball doesn't arrive with you. But on this occasion, it did. So you have to anticipate, expect that ball to break to you. If you don't make the run, nothing can happen.
A bit of air on it, so crowd scene, the very definition of it. Arblaster, Broadhead, Moore. Challenged that by Bindon. That's very cool initially by McCallum, but the pass doesn't find its target. Now Longman's in behind. Windass. Sheaf! Well, it had the power, and Tanganga put himself on the line to block it.
It's brave again. A bit of complacency maybe from Sheffield United. Sam McCallum. It's a poor ball out from the back. Suddenly then the defence is turned around, and having possession, suddenly Wrexham have an opportunity. Tanganga, that's all you can do at times, just put your body on the line, get a block in. It's brave.
There's no time to relax and maybe try a few unnecessary things.
I guarantee that Chris Wilder will be furious about how that opportunity came about.
Peeling to the back. Well, great response from him and from Wrexham. Having gifted his old club a goal just moments ago, that is the perfect answer. But you have to go back to Sam McCallum's mistake, because that's where it all started.
It's a magnificent delivery as well. Flat, pacey, keeper can't come and deal with it. Defenders just watching the ball. No one has stayed shoulder to shoulder with Kiefer Moore, the most dangerous player in the penalty area. It's allowed a bit of a free run, and he gets his head on it, but the quality of the ball, all it needs is contact, and it's in the back of the net. Game on again.
Thomas, and oh, that's gifted here to Bamford. Conquo able to make the save, and it needed to be hooked away with urgency by the everywhere man at the moment, George Thomason.
I'm just thinking the form that Patrick Bamford's in, he might just try and lift that over the goalkeeper, because the angle is against him. It's a bit of hit and hope. He's just looking to blast the ball through the goalkeeper.
On for McCallum. Chong in there. Thomason dealt with him. Broadhead had to track back, but it breaks Sheffield United's way.
And the chances just keep coming. Patrick Bamford in a really good position there. The angle was against him, so it's a difficult chance. Maybe he just lifted it over the goalkeeper and was just smashing at the keeper. You expect the keeper to be in the right position just to get the ball blocked away.
Twisting, turning, brilliant from Sariki. Cross over everybody. Harmer. That might be more troubling for Wrexham, but Hyam and Matty James and now Broadhead get their heads to it. Blaster.
Are we absolutely sure Femi Sariki is a fullback? Because he steps forward. He just takes fullbacks on, delivers such consistent quality. He's been outstanding.
This is what I'm talking about. He's got this slightly off-the-cuff quality to him, where you never quite know what's coming when he gets into those advanced positions. Well, it's been quite the battle on that side, with full-back and wing-back both shining, and Thomason matching Sariki in many ways for end product there with the corner, which has narrowed his team's advantage.
2 assists each, but I think from the coach's point of view, the game is probably far too open. Neither side has real control of the game, but wonderful to watch.
Thomason actually thought he'd scored direct from a corner against Bristol City, but it actually ended up being credited as, to his delight no doubt, a Radik Vitek own goal. It hit the goalkeeper. Corner had hit the post. Of course, nobody will be credited with an assist for Wrexham's first goal, with it being an own goal. That's how it works. Josh Windass digging it out. Them's the rules. And fans of the Magic Arrows in luck tomorrow as it all cranks into gear at Ali Pali. Sky Sports starts from 12:30 and the evening session from 7. Blaster. Foul by Longman.
Nice aggressive play. They're just trying to disrupt Sheffield United passing rhythm. It's vitally important for Sheffield United that the Riedewald and Arblaster don't go too far forward when they're in possession, because Sariki and McCallum are playing so far forward down the flanks.
Hyam's head. Needed Longman to arrive with urgency. That's Thomason. Very neatly done by Broadhead. This could be interesting as he seeks out Windass. Harmer arrived and made it, let's say, very difficult for him to reach the ball. Windass into Moore. Can he get away from Bindon? At the cost of a corner. Bindon deals with it, and he's ready for more. Going around the back, they've dealt with more this time. And Doyle can stretch sufficiently to guide it back across the face. Indeed, Moore ended up on his knees that time.
It's been a stunning opening half an hour or so. What's really surprising me, look at the expected goals there. The quality of chances is actually quite low, about 1.5. We've had 5 goals, so both sides being clinical when opportunities are coming along.
Be helped by the fact that there won't be an XG for an OG. You've got to know your XGs and your OGs and GKs who come into the action in Arthur Okonkwo. Here's Broadhead. Thomason moving inside ahead of Doyle. He's looking for that ball to Moore. Now he's possibly on the border of offside here, and indeed the flag does go up.
There's He's not lightning quick, Kiefer Moore, so he has to time those runs to perfection, and usually he gets them right. I think they actually step up on him. I think it's Tyler Bindon who appreciates what Kiefer Moore's looking to do and just steps up, and it's clever defending, catches him offside.
Bamford was unhappy. He felt he was grabbed round the neck by Callum Doyle. That's O'Hare. That was Arblaster. Head of McCallum. Here's Max Cleworth. Here's Tyler Bindon. With Ben Mee's injury has come opportunity, and Tyler Bindon has seized his own goal, an unfortunate blot on a recent run of good performances as they ganged up on Riedewald, who got his own back. Sheaf, Thomason. It's asked a lot of Doyle. Dominic Hyam. James and Sheaf, very solid pairing in midfield. Thomason, lovely skill by Broadhead. Excellent work, but it's a tussle between Siriki and Thomason again. And Wrexham on with it very swiftly there. Broadhead, beautifully done. Was that handled by Arblaster? Well, he's given the offside against Kiefer Moore, which, as you might have gathered, is not a popular verdict.
Of course, the forward ball is played and it is offside, then it doesn't matter whether it's handball or not. And he is offside as Broadhead plays him in. He is offside. Arblaster clearly sticks around, I think, appealing for offside. That's why he handles it, but the first infringement is the offside. You see that happen too often. You appeal for offside and give a penalty away for handball. Arblaster's a lucky boy.
Is an intriguing one.
That's a foul from Riedewald in the back of Windass there, just catches him with his forearm in the back of the neck.
He was complaining to the bench a little earlier, a spot of trouble with his finger. He did play through illness, incidentally, recently against West Bromwich Albion, so it's not been the easiest of periods for a very experienced and accomplished performer. Here's Broadhead. Siriki with a little nudge.
Just the speed and recovery there from Femi Siriki, because Broadhead had actually made a decent run, got in behind him. It's poor defensive positioning, but then it was all about his recovery, his pace. He got back there and got the block in.
It's emphatically defended by Tyler Bindon. Thomason. Good play by Doyle. Searching cross. Hyam attacks it! A sharper handball against Bindon, which looked optimistic from where I am. Hit powerfully on the follow-up by Sheaf.
It looked to me as if Bindon did well not to handle it. It seemed to catch him around the stomach area. It's difficult when a centre-half heads that ball powerfully. It bounces, you can get it wrong, you can stick out an arm, a hand. But it's very definitely just his midriff, his stomach there, does so well to keep his arms out of the way. Could have got that horribly wrong when that ball bounces, could have made it a handball and not just chest and clear. I just feel every time either side go forward, get the ball into the penalty area, something's going to happen, an opportunity's going to come along. So as I say, neither side really in full control of the game, which makes it really fascinating to watch.
McCallum, it's Doyle's head. Blaster nipping in well. McCallum, O'Hare. Fending off Broadhead really well. Sariki, now Chong for Sheffield United. Excellent dovetailing there, and another cross that needs defending. Riedewald bounced up onto the arm, and that one is given. And it's been fair to say that Mr. Kitchen has been getting a little heat. It is an interesting one, because obviously the ball through didn't actually reach more, but there you go. Oh, an offside appeal can go badly wrong, potentially. That could be a good run here from Windass. That's too much of him. He's offside, actually, anyway.
I've seen Wrexham mix up their attacking game at times. It's balls into keeper, more balls into feet, and they're looking to maybe turn teams around as well. If you look at the match momentum, look at the flow of the game. What's really interesting, 4 of the 5 goals have actually come when their opponents have actually dominated the ball. The other team have gone down the other end and scored. Usually you don't see that. You control the game, you force the team back, you create a chance, you score. That's not the way this game has gone.
Well, and we're all delighted about that. Well, most of us. Can't imagine in the technical area they're sharing that sentiment. Doyle. Broadhead. Our blaster biting, but not enough. Bindon, that was cool. Riedewald up to O'Hare.
It's great positioning from Tyler Bindon there, because he was in a position where he could have closed keeper more down if the ball had gone into his feet. They're looking to play that ball in behind the centre-half, and he'd read that as well, so his positioning there, all important.
Well, he was in a position not that long ago where he was wondering where on earth his next game was coming from. But lots of really good aspects to his performance today, as there have been against both Norwich and Birmingham when he started. Indeed, against Birmingham City he got a goal. Towering header from a set piece. Blaster looking for Chong. Broadhead, difficult spot. It ran through to Bamford. Chong's arriving here, and he has a chance. But Okonkwo is sufficiently well positioned to deny him.
Well, it ran through to Bamford because Callum O'Hare, clever little dummy, steps over the ball. Defenders fall for it. That's why it ends up at the feet of Bamford, who does the right thing, doesn't try and take defenders on, releases the pass. Dave Chong just travels a bit too far with this. Needed one touch out of your feet and drill it across goal. You back yourself on your right foot to take the shot on earlier. The closer you get to the goalkeeper, everything gets closed down. Okonkwo's position is good, and it's a tame shot in the end.
So Harmer, I like one into the near post. A little further this time. And a foul. Riedewald ended up on the floor. Suggestion he might have been the sinner. Well, I would imagine quite easily the theme of Phil Parkinson's address there to the fourth official. A minimum of 2 added minutes at the end of the half, as you saw. He thinks that's a little thrifty from the officials.
Yeah, it probably is, but when you're chasing the game, you want 5-6 minutes before the break.
Urgency for a cup of tea, perhaps, on the part of our officiating team. O'Hare, this is our blaster. Bamford. He's still potentially in with a shot, but it was tidied up there by Doyle. Well, you wouldn't have thought that Chris Wilder and Patrick Bamford would be a marriage made in heaven just a few weeks ago, but it's certainly proving that for Sheffield United. No one really came out the winner there. Away by Longman. Kiefer Moore seems to have taken one in the face. McCallum. Clewith. O'Hare is always bright and lively, but he can't secure possession at first, at least. Now he has. Bamford. And he's in search of a free kick, but the only whistle that blows will be that to signal half-time. Just shy, indeed, of the 2 minutes. Well, where do you start? Quite extraordinary run of goals continues for Patrick Bamford. One incredible. Tyler Bindon with an unfortunate own goal between those. Callum O'Hare rewarded for his bravery to give Sheffield United a 2-goal lead, 3-1. Kiefer Moore presenting him unwittingly with that chance, but he responded in the right manner with a header from a corner to narrow the margin. A thrilling first half at the racecourse, and we'll be back for more. Wrexham 2, Sheffield United 3. Target here is potentially McCallum.
Well, this game is far from decided. The second half is like the first, really open. Both sides providing quality service, getting strikers on the end of chances. There's a chance Wrexham could turn this around. We know their mindset as well, they're so positive. We'll continue to take the game to Sheffield United. Can Sheffield United get that next goal in the game and give themselves a bit of a breathing space?
Well, remains to be seen as whether the first half can be matched for its entertainment value. It's not about us, Andy, but been here to Wrexham twice this season prior to this, and both games finished 3-2, and here we are 3-2 at half-time.
It is all about us. It's our influence on players. We just bring the best out of them.
I've heard you do bring about certain reactions from players, but we won't dwell on that. Here's Tanganga. Sheffield United, it's not been a regular date in the diary, it must be said, but seeking their first league win on this ground. Harmer, our blaster. Still lots of debate and discussion about the merits of the decision, which he made contact with the ball with his arm while appealing for offside. Chong. Here is our blaster. Harmer had enough room to work with there. Bamford. A ball of pace which Callum O'Hare was willing to contest, but Dominic Hyam dealt with.
Yeah, great positioning, bravery as well. So Patrick Bamford just drifting out of that central striking role into a wider area. Does the right thing, puts the ball in behind the defence, but Hyam's got back there quickly, and there's no way that O'Hare's going to get across him and get to the ball first. Good defending.
Sheffield United and Bindon amongst those who can cause a threat from these situations. It's Harmer's delivery, and it was Bindon arriving at the near post, as he did with great success in their last game.
Once again, it's Dom Hyam who's shoulder to shoulder with him. Makes it really difficult for him to turn this goalwards. And again, it is his man, so he has to stay close. He's running past a lot of Sheffield United players just to get as close as he can, make it difficult for Bindon to hit the target.
Yes, Bindon was not under that kind of pressure and at that kind of angle when he scored against Birmingham. It was a terrific leap and a corner routine that's worked a couple of times for the Blades recently.
You do have to compliment both sides with it from open play, set plays, the delivery, the service into the box, into teammates has been outstanding so far.
Determination from Thomason. It's Chong faced up by Doyle. Backed up Doyle was by the presence of Ben Sheaf. Broadhead gets into his stride. A joy to watch, but he in turn has too much of Ryan Longman in the circumstances.
It's great work though. You mentioned Ben Sheaf there getting back round, helping out defensively, because George Thomason had stepped forward, the ball is lost, trying to exploit that space that the wing back has left, and there's Sheaf just drifting across, helping out Callum Doyle. All his experience put to good use.
I suppose for Thomason one difference may be the amount of up and down he's got to do. And Sheaf is going to have to be wise to the fact that that will be a difficult challenge for him at times, as he was there.
Of course, if you're chasing the game, you'd expect maybe Thomason to take a few more risks going forward, to step beyond the halfway line, so maybe again Sheaf just has to appreciate that and just fill in at times.
Here's Chong. Harmer. Riedewald. Well there by Matty James. Broadhead. Thomason.
You get a sense that Sheffield United, only 5 minutes into the second half, a bit more control from them, dominating the ball, forcing Wrexham back.
Wrexham building. And Thomason in crossing position again. And it's a useful one! And Longman takes advantage of it! And the comeback is complete! Wing back this time. And 3-3 at the racecourse.
It's the story of the game. A team dominates. Just mentioned Sheffield United, 70% possession, forcing Wrexham back. Wrexham go up the other end and produce some quality and score. When you play with wing-backs, you want them to play high and wide. That's exactly what Thomason does. He gets into an advanced position and he delivers an absolute beauty of a ball. They should stay with his run. They don't. They appeal for offside. Our blaster shouldn't do that. Just stands the ball up, and Longman does the right thing. The opposite wing-back, don't stand out wide beyond the far post, gets into a central position, get right on the shoulder of Sam McCallum. But the way the ball is stood up, again, it's a quality ball in, it's there to be attacked. McCallum, I think, should do better. He's in a good defensive position, just mistimes the header, but Longman's there, right position to square the game up. Incredible.
Well, I think George Thomason can add wing back to his list of positions. But it's interesting, Longman, his previous goal against Norwich also came from a cross from his opposite wing-back, Issa Kabore, in that instance. So it was right to left rather than left to right.
I mentioned in the first half the qualities you need as a wing-back, and I played that position. You do need to cover a lot of ground, and then you need to provide quality. Can you slow yourself down and provide that quality ball in? That's exactly what Thomason does. And then with Longman, he's got to cover the ground, make up the ground to get into the far post, become the central striker. It's hard work being a wing-back, but both players there do their jobs brilliantly.
Longman is in essence a winger, and Thomason in essence a central midfielder, but it's been no impediment to success tonight. And where is this going to end, Andy Hinchcliffe?
Hopefully in more goals. I'm not sure who's going to win. Just hope both sides keep going at it like this. There's plenty of space, and both sides looking to score every time they're in possession. Again, coaches will watch this game and think, this can't happen, we need more control than this. But this is about entertainment, pure and simple.
Broadhead, now Windass has space. And Windass has a shot on him, and it's followed up by Broadhead.
Every time either side go forward, they're getting into brilliant, promising positions, goal-scoring positions. Times his run correctly there. Josh Windass gets it out of his feet. He can't really pick out keeper at the far post, so he's right to go for goal. Just think it's right down the goalkeeper's throat. Plenty of power, but it's right at the goalkeeper. It's difficult then for Broadhead when it comes back at him.
He's capable of the spectacular. Certainly he and Windass options for many to envy at championship level. And in Josh Windass's case, an interesting month ahead, coveted by others. Might be a relatively quiet window at Wrexham, but we shall see. It's rarely quiet at any point. Here's Moore. By Tanganga, and on with it swiftly, too swiftly, rolling ball.
I have to give Josh Windass a lot of credit as well. We have arrived early, saw him going through his his fitness test, and he's talking to us saying how desperate he is to play, and he's not completely right, but he was desperate to be out there, and he's performed really well.
I think we can call this a successful experiment, can't we, right? George Thomason at left wing back.
He covers the ground to get into that advanced position, but look at the considered nature of the cross as well. He doesn't just put his head down and smash it in and hope he picks out a teammate or it cannons off a defender. He does the right thing by standing the ball up, giving the opposite wing back a chance of getting in and competing for it. It's that considered nature of the cross, that's why they score.
It's interesting seeing the two of them combine in that fashion, because really, ideally, they would like to have Libby Kakache out there and Issa Kabore, who's out in Africa, in those respective positions. They combined so excellently against Coventry here. Indeed, they've only completed 2 90 minutes together, the wing-back pair. Partnership they've been able to put out there often enough.
Yeah, we had heard that Kakache might have about half an hour in his legs. He's on his way back from injury as well, but the way that Thomason is playing down that left-hand side, you're not going to take him off and send Kakache on.
Bit of swaz on that from Sheaf. Here's Longman, Windass. He'll look for the first-time cross, which dented McCallum's landing gear.
Sheffield United started the second half really well, but that goal has given Wrexham a huge lift. Longman equaliser, it's changed the complexion of the game, and just the belief now coursing through Wrexham. They're the side that are dominating the ball, dominating the game, forcing Sheffield United back.
Moore trying to make space for himself, but the delivery not reaching him. It was Tyler Bindon who got his head to it. Conquo with the boot intended for Moore to get to. It breaks off O'Hare for once. Moore. Thomason in a more regular sort of area, using Cleworth. Windass. That could be interesting. It's asked a lot of Sheaf, though.
He's unlucky, Sheaf, because actually on that occasion Thomason had drifted kind of back into that more central position he's used to playing as a midfielder. Sheaf realised that and then became the wing back himself, but was reliant on decent service, and the ball was way out in front of him. Couldn't catch up with it.
Well, it was 3-3 between the two in the FA Cup. The last time they met here at the Kairas, where there was a late heartbreaker from John Egan, of all people. Here's Bamford hunting a hat-trick, might break back to him. O'Hare will certainly not give it up, but James is cool under pressure. Sheaf. Windass. It did just break off the Wrexham man. See Chong withdrawn for Harrison Burrows.
Yeah, the starting 11s have some brilliant entertainment so far, but will the game be won from the bench? We'll see.
Broadhead to Windass. The fluidity and fluency of the Wrexham front three. This front three, the front three that Phil Parkinson has been joyful at the thought of putting into action, but today's the first time he's been able to from the start.
And to me, what makes them so dangerous as an attacking trio is they're all very different types of striker as well. So again, when you're not sure who you're going to be playing up against because of that fluidity as a defender, you're not really sure, is it going to be Kiefer Moore, is it going to be Broadhead? Could be a real problem.
I'm very determined it wouldn't be Bamford there. There's Moore. It's Bindon. Riedewald's boot was high. Well, high enough anyway.
Seems to be a dip at the head from Ben Sheaf, who makes the challenge. Ball, the bounce of it is it's up around chest area, so if you raise your boot that high, even though he ducks ahead, it's still a high boot.
So there's a bouncing Burrows, and it's helpful on a crisp night in North Wales. Oh, Windass just couldn't quite feather it through.
He just doesn't get the connection on it. The idea is right, he's looking to play it out into the path of Kiefer Moore. Surprised he's not got that right. His touch is normally excellent.
So Harrison Burrows is going to come on, but there is a slight operational issue with the board, which I don't think it's going to be rectified here. So Chong off, Burrows on, rejig of sorts. It looks as though Burrows is going to go ahead of McCallum. And where's O'Hare going to go? That's what he's asking. So reshuffle still in progress. There's O'Hare, whose brief has been everywhere. But it looks as though he might, nominally at least, we'll see, play off the right-hand side. And as you can see at the moment, very off. With
a narrow midfield, isn't it?
Keep our hawk-like eyes on that.
It's quite unusual, clearly. Cresswell has identified something down the Wrexham right, because Burrows normally comes on for McCallum, or McCallum comes on for Burrows to play together down that left-hand side. Is not usual for them.
This is O'Hare. Looking hopefully for a free kick, which he won't get. This is Windass. Longman. Doyle up to Broadhead. Slightly awkward ball for James to deal with. Here's Cleworth. James Moore. Tied it up again by Tyler Bindon. Very neatly done by Bamford. Here's O'Hare. Burrows straight into the action. Almost turns goal provider. O'Hare couldn't quite get the telling touch. Our blaster.
Yeah, but that attack all starts with a beautifully weighted forward pass from Tyler Bindon to Patrick Bamford. We've got Sheffield United going. I just think Burrows in the end there. The angle is against him. He has a quality left foot. Trying to pick out O'Hare, but he just really smashes it across the 6-yard box. They can't get a touch on it.
Really a robust midfield play by Ben Sheaf, but then he's taken down. The consolation of a familiar face when he looks up ultimately is minimal.
I think Gus Harmer, tackling is not one of his main strengths there. He just sticks out a boot. He's not even trying to make a decent challenge there. He's just standing still and sticking out a leg and fouling his man, his old mate.
That's threatening, with Broadhead arriving.
Just looking at that Sheffield United shape, though, it does seem there's an imbalance there. There's a lot more down the left-hand side than down the right. Expecting maybe Harmer or O'Hare to go out onto that right-hand side, not play as a winger, but play in that position, and both are playing pretty central. This is where you want Harrison Burrows. It all starts with Bindon. Great forward ball. Layoff from Bamford. Gets the ball back. And the ball into the feet of Burrows. I think the angle is against him normally. I think a better angle he shoots. Tries to be unselfish and do the right thing, pull it back.
Oh, and a decision to make here. Bamford felled right on the edge of the penalty area. Yellow card brandished in Ryan Longman's direction.
Well, the referee blew very quickly, indicated very quickly this foul's outside the box. I think there's the initial contact. It doesn't carry on in the penalty area. The penalty will be given if it does. There is contact, it's outside the box. It's there, and then he falls into the box. That's a really good spot from the referee.
So Longman in the book. Wrexham possibly in trouble.
Remember Broadhead from this position in the first half just blasted it. Nowhere near the target. We've got Harmer and is it Burrows stood over the ball. I expect much better from these two.
Well, there's no question that both have the capability. Which one it will be? is the question, and he would love to know the answer, Okonkwo.
If I'm stood over that ball, you've got to whip it with the instep. It gives you the power and it gives you the precision as well. You've got to feel it over the wall if that's the option you choose.
It's going to be a little roll, or Harmer now backing off. Bamford's position interesting. It's Harmer's blast, it's Okonkwo's save.
The keeper does well because he doesn't step behind his wall. The temptation is to think the ball's going to be, whipped over the wall, but it's your job to protect that part of the goal. He stands his ground. Harmer strikes it hoping the keeper's going to move to his right, and then it'll go into his left. And the keeper backs his wall, stays in that position he should be in, and makes a comfortable save.
Well, what have they got up their sleeve? Tanganga trying to get free at the back here. But it's not dealt with. O'Hare. All fall down. And the referee satisfied that there was an infringement, which is what commentators say when they're not sure what's happened.
Just going back to that Harmer free kick, though, I would never strike the ball at a goalkeeper and hope that he moves, because if he doesn't, it's a comfortable save. I'd always back myself to try and whip it over the wall. Aim for the bulk of the goal, keep it away from the goalkeeper. So free kick takers do that, hit it at the keeper, hoping they take a step behind the wall. It's not what I would choose to do.
Well, Tyrese Campbell is getting lengthy instruction in the technical area. Sheaf. Doyle got a deflection, and it is a corner. And wherever there's a corner, there's a serious threat for either side. He will hope to be for Sheffield United in what remains when he gets the opportunity. But with others in the ranks now performing excellently, there's a real prospect of genuine rotation in the top end of the team for Sheffield United. The referee unhappy, and it would seem with good reason. Hyam and McCallum.
Can't use my right very well.
It's a real crowd scene, isn't it? Players got a hold of each other, attackers and defenders. Very difficult for the referee to pick out what the first infringement is.
Bit of ruck and maul. Sumare ready for Sheffield United as well. Oh, Hyam stooped, didn't quite conquer. It'd be really difficult for him to do so, but he did his best.
He's just trying to turn it goals. There's just too many bodies in between him and the goal.
Broadhead, that was clever. Moore. Bindon in the way, and Arblaster taking urgent action, and Wrexham ramping up the pressure here. So Matty James is poised to deliver. Doyle's around the back, and he will meet it, and so will Cooper. Back in by Sheaf, Broadhead, pinball, and out by Arblaster. His second goal line clearance of the day. O'Hare's head. And Doyle's offside, so that's the end of that.
That's a real problem defensively for Sheffield United. These set pieces, they're just piling so many bodies into the box. They're keeping the ball alive, and it starts ricocheting around. It could end up absolutely anywhere. Doyle does well to keep it alive. Once that shot comes in and it bounces around, I think Broadhead will be disappointed. Maybe he's not done a little bit better. It's a good look at the target. It's a side foot finish as well. Maybe he should have kept it away from Sheffield United defenders. Arblaster again, that's why he's there. Stayed on the line, could easily have drifted off the line. That ball could just trundle in, but he didn't. Did his job.
Again, Patrick Bamford has taken his leave.
Two magnificent goals he scored tonight. His movement, his touch. He has no right to score this one. It's an absolute peach. For the second one, again, you've got defenders ball watching. You're reliant on good service. You get into a goal-scoring position, you time your run, and then the composure to finish. Bouncing ball, not easy. Two great goals from him.
Well, Jibril Soumaré slotting into midfield, and it's taking on very much a three at the back look. With Burrows on the pitch, but pushing on quite a bit. And McCallum sort of operating as a left-sided centre-back. O'Hare just in behind Campbell. The ricochets picked up by Harmer. O'Hare. That's just too much even of Siriki.
Change of shape for Chris Waller does make sense. You've still got wing-backs in essence who can affect the game, get crosses and win the game for you, but then with three centre-halves in essence, or five at the back, you can maybe contain that dangerous front three for Wrexham a bit better.
Broadhead looking to take on everybody, and he's found a pass too for Moore. That's interesting. Longman arriving again. And now Cleworth getting involved. Met by Bindon. Sheaf. Thomason, can he dig another out? This time he uses Broadhead. Sheaf again. Oh, and that's a very important header by McCallum with Windass lurking.
They're very lucky, Sheffield United. It's far too passive. The ball goes back. It's going to be delivered into the box. No one's pressing the ball, just standing and allowing the Wrexham player to deliver a dangerous ball in the box. And McCallum's positioning, central positioning, all important.
Campbell. Can't get the measure of Dominic Hyan, who is as reliable a customer as there is around. He's certainly made an impact. And Tyrese Campbell not looking as smart now as he did when he entered the pitch. Well, that's broken kindly for Broadhead. Chance for more. A chance he takes! Three-one down, 4-3 up. A devastating finish from the former Sheffield United man. And Wrexham now with victory in sight.
Well, they did it to Coventry, they're doing it to Sheffield United. The resilience in this Wrexham team is extraordinary, and the quality as well. You can have character, you can have belief, you can get back into games, but you've got to make it happen. Controlling the ball in central midfield, Sheffield United, they lose it, and then suddenly they're backpedaling. But Kiefer Moore again, look at the timing of his run. He's getting closed down, but he does the right thing, concentrates on a good strike, across the goalkeeper. And that resilience is quite extraordinary, but then when you get into advanced positions, can you be clinical? And Kiefer Moore, the timing of the run, and just the coolness, the calmness of the strike. He doesn't hit and hope, he tries to pick out that top corner. It's a wonderful goal, and what a comeback again from Wrexham.
Well, real fight from Broadhead. Soumaré found McCallum. This is Tyler Bindon. So, Sheffield United now having to walk down the comeback trail. You may notice there, Tyrese Campbell in the centre of the picture is now wearing a shirt without a number or a name on the back of it after his coming together with Dominic Hyam. A quick change, so he's now sartorially correct, but in no way anonymous on a football pitch at present. He's been brilliant this season and last. More back there defending. Here's Arblaster. Burrows. It was Cleworth who got his head to it. Soumare. Arblaster. It's Cleworth. O'Hare. Harrison Burrows thought about using his weaker foot to take the strike on. Soumare. Sariki. Harmer. Got away from Doyle. Arblaster! Oh, Okonkwo is able to react. Well, this is certainly a long way from over. Cooper deals with it.
Almost like a switch has been flicked there. Suddenly Sheffield United just burst into life. It's taken that Kiefer Moore, that fourth goal to get them going. Suddenly they put together a brilliant move, and I think Arblaster will be so disappointed he's hit the goalkeeper there and not tucked it away. Take nothing away from Okonkwo again, you've got to get your positioning right. If the ball hits you, it's because you're in the right position as well to make a save. But brilliant from Harmer, good pull back. Arblaster's following the play up, he'll be disappointed he's not buried that. There's Harmer getting forward, haven't seen a lot of that. Okonkwo again, he just moves to his right slightly as well. If he's caught at his near post, he can't get across and get a block in. Just looking to pass it home, but the keeper's just made that slight movement to block the ball. Great save.
Well, the man who needed a good night. Don't think anyone would argue with that after the events at Swansea. Here's Broadhead. Thomason. Oh, was that challenge good? It wasn't. Referee points to the penalty spot.
Time and again, defensively, Sheffield United have been stretched. How many times have they been backpedaling, running back towards their own goal? And Bindon, he's adamant that he actually gets something on the ball. This will give us a better view of it. Thomason again bursting forward. I just wonder, is there any real contact there on Thomason? He gets a touch on the ball. Is he maybe looking to go to ground? Is he actually taken out? I think he's falling before any contact, if any, is made on him. And it's a harsh call, that one, for me.
Well, a harsh call, a yellow card. That may be a decisive one. And Windass will step up and score! Well, the man who was doubtful until a couple of hours before kickoff has come up with perhaps the decisive moment. Real coolness from the penalty spot, and now they have clear daylight.
When you're in a pressurised situation and you want someone to kill the game off for you, there is no one better in this Wrexham side than Josh Windass. This is as cool a penalty as you can see. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He goes with the side foot, there's power. Even if the keeper goes the right way, he's probably not saving that. Just absolutely no panic. He wants to take this penalty, he wants to get the fifth goal. Finishes it beautifully, but there has to be big questions over whether it was a penalty or not. Tyler Bindon going to ground here. Does he actually take his man out? There's a touch from Thomason. I don't think Bindon makes contact with Thomason at all. I think the fall maybe kids the referee into thinking his legs have been taken away. It is a harsh call.
And it's led to urgent changes from Sheffield United. But also a departure for Kiefer Moore, who leaves the stage with Josh Windass taking the responsibility from the penalty spot. No hat-trick chance. He's replaced by Sam Smith, who's a formidable presence in his own right. And Sheffield United have brought Danny Ings on and Andre Brooks. So O'Hara, McCallum off. And the back three, a thing of the past now. Burrows, Arblaster. Well, there's still more than enough time for everything to change here. Campbell with a touch. Hacked away by George Thomason, who's been such a big part of the story. Windass. Sure his Sheffield Wednesday connection will not be forgotten. Extra pain, perhaps, but I've commentated on a 5-5 draw involving Sheffield United before in the playoff semi-final. What, 10 years ago now, down at Swindon. Well, that's loose. And Thomason. He's not finished for the night, although maybe corner flag looks very enticing at the moment. Windass. James. Thomason in there with Andre Brooks. An embrace for Ollie Rathbone from Phil Parkinson before he enters the stage to play his part, and it's Nathan Broadhead who is the player to be withdrawn, and he's already off the pitch. Distinctly protective posture being employed here.
It's a conservative move, but you're 5-3 up, so again, just try and see the game out now. 5 minutes or so left to play. Your attacking trio have done the damage, so again, just try and game management, just get through to the end of the game, because I think if it's 5-4 or just a goal between the two sides, I think it's a different story, but with 2 goals you don't need another one.
It's forward by Burrows. Hyam's head. Sumare. Burrows galloping down one flank. Here's Brooks on the other. Feels he was fouled. Referee concurs. Fulsome applause for Nathan Broadhead. He's now made his way past the building site and to inhabited area. Femi Sariki. Thomason in the way. Here's Rathbone with an opportunity to get involved. Back from serious injury, a few niggles on the road to recovery. But a significant figure in the Wrexham ranks. Finds Longman here. He's got Smith outside him. Cleworth is arriving. Sariki's ball. It's Hyam. Arblaster. Danny Ings trying to take it in. Had Hyam at his back. Thomason. Burrows. Now Bindon. Arblaster. Burrows. Longman. Cleworth there for good measure. Burrows made an offer for Harmer to maybe throw it long into the channel. Japhet Tanganga. Harmer's made an interesting run here, although Longman was with him all the way. And the pass wasn't quite the best to take advantage of it, but his determination is there, and so is a threatening delivery. Hyam there at the near post and suggesting that Longman needed to be stronger there.
Yeah, the hand of apology there from Ryan Longman. He knew complacency, just trying to let that ball run out. Sheffield United, Harmer chasing the game. They're going to keep it alive if they can.
Bindon lurking back, stick. Tanganga's coming in as well, but he is guilty of the foul.
Well, Kiefer Moy really epitomises the resilience, the ability to bounce back. That ball skimmed off his head for Callum O'Hare to make it 3-1. Looked like the game was over. He went down the other end and stuck the ball in the back of the net from a wicked ball in from George Thomason. So again, he didn't feel sorry for himself, went down the other end, made amends. He scored again in the game as well, so incredible resilience from him and this Wrexham team.
There will be no repeat of his hat-trick against Coventry here. Another Friday night full of excitement at the racecourse. And Patrick Bamford denied the opportunity to chase a distinction held by Keith Edwards, a great goal scorer himself, the only player to score a hat-trick in this fixture. Indeed, he scored 4 on an FA Cup visit to this particular stadium back in 1983. Well, all this and the reintroduction to the Wrexham first team of England international striker in Jay Rodriguez. Will replace Windass when the time comes. Here's Longman. Seeing him off. The opportunity to make the change is not going to come here.
What's even more astonishing, yes, they keep coming back here, Wrexham, but going into the game, if we look at the form of the last 7 championship games, this was only going to ever finish as a Sheffield United win, but Wrexham had other ideas. Windass certainly played its part.
Yeah, coolness from the spot. Also the pull-back that led to Tyler Bindon's own goal, which he won't be credited for as in terms of an assist, but he certainly will be by his colleagues. Jay Rodriguez, after an ankle injury, makes his first appearance of the campaign. Tanganga. Well, Sheffield United 5 wins in 7, Wrexham 1 in similar time period. There is a sense, as Rathbone is caught offside, that although we are halfway into the season, we haven't quite emerged from the primordial ooze just yet, apart from Coventry. We won again today with a very 20-25 goal from a long throw. Efron Mason-Clark with the winner. 15 points clear of third place. Burrows, that's a very good delivery. Campbell! And it stayed out. And a moment of silence at the racecourse.
Yeah, if that had gone in, would have been in for a very interesting final couple of minutes. It's not the cleanest of strikes. He seems to scoop it goalwards, so it's always moving upwards rather than down underneath the crossbar. That said, he is unlucky.
Well, it could be too little too late, but maybe not. If Sheffield United can make the most of this. Tanganga again looking to pile in there. Bindon couldn't win it on the far post. Sariki. Andy, I wonder who your player of the match is as a left back.
Apparently George Thomason has never played as a left wing back, but he has been truly exceptional. As we saw the team selection, the team formation, I wondered why Phil Parkinson was playing him here. But you can see why. He gives the team balance with that left foot, but so many more touches in the opposition half than his own half. That's what you want from a wing back. You've got to cover the ground, you've got to provide quality. He has been truly outstanding. Of course, I pick out George Thomason as the outstanding individual, but what a performance from Wrexham as a team, the resilience, the quality. OK, Sheffield United aren't, in a league position that maybe they should be, but they're still, you look at their squad, their starting 11, one of the best teams in this league, and Wrexham have just kept coming back, and I think they deservedly win the game.
Well, Ings and Brooks herring towards Dominic Hyan. The curtain falls on an extraordinary night of drama at the racecourse. Phil Parkinson's team just wouldn't go away when it seemed that Sheffield United had the game in a tight grip at 3-1. They kept coming back. And after a run of 5 without a victory, they get 3 points on the board. Patrick Bamford with 2 goals in the first half. Callum O'Hare with another as well. Sheffield United twice in a leading position, but Kiefer Moore, after helping gift his old club one of the goals, came roaring back in the spirit of the Dragon. And Dean Windass, or Josh Windass, coolly converting from the penalty spot to finish it all off. But the star of the show, a man who's worked all week on a new position, left wing back, the midfielder, performed absolutely brilliantly. A hand in 3 goals, he won the penalty that sealed it, and indisputably the star of the show on a memorable Boxing Day night for Wrexham. So, Sheffield United still chasing a league win on this ground. Wrexham 3 out of 3, although 2 of them ancient history. This gives them a platform to build on again, with many of the top teams still to come here to the racecourse this season. Well, who knows? Maybe there is a chance for them to make significant strides up the table. The final score here, it's one we won't forget in Ari. Wrexham 5, Sheffield United 3.